Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. You're watching In Deep on the Delta, and today I have the pleasure of having Nick Kanemoto from the Bass Hookup on. You guys know Nick. If you don't, you should. But how long you been doing YouTube, Nick?
You know, we've been doing it for about 4 years, but really just this last year we started, you know, getting content out there, trying to do it on a more regular basis.
And you know, you and I have been running into, I know we ran into each other out at where was it? Clear Lake, and we've been talking. We finally got a chance to get out here on the Delta and do some fishing, and I'm excited about your new, I guess it's your bait company.
I'm really came up with a couple bait ideas and working with Poochie and Sons, who own P-Line. So it's really like P-Line's the parent company, or Poochie and Sons, and the new company is called First Gen Fishing. First Gen Fishing.
And let's get into this. I wanted you guys that are in deep on the Delta fans, make sure you know the Bass Hookup is out here. If you don't know, it's here. So I wanted to introduce you. They can put a face to your name and say hi to you out here. But we got that done. Let's pull out these baits. And he's got one. Let's talk about that Delta bait first of all. That
the swim jig.
Yeah, and just, you only have a couple of baits out now, but this is a Delta bait. And then I want you to talk about that other whatever we're calling it, that if you guys are fishing Clearwater lakes, we got to go over that too.
All right, so this bait right here I designed for the Delta because I love to fish the Delta. This is what I call my home body of water. Fish here probably 95% of the time if I'm fishing. So I had to come out with something that I could fish here, and I like throwing swim jigs, but you know, I wanted to add a little bit of flash to that swim jig. So this is what we came up with. The head design is totally unique to our bait. We have a recessed line tie. We had to have that. We have a stout 6/0 mustad swim jig hook in it. And then here you can see this is a titanium wire. It's a 100-pound titanium wire. It does not impede any hook sets. I was catching fish on not this exact thing, but another one of the baits all day today.
Keep talking, Nick.
And so you can throw your favorite trailer on there. It comes in, we have 13 colors. So we have the Delta colors, we have the Delta red, we have a bunch of colors, you know, green pumpkins, all those different colors.
And just, you know, one thing that Nick didn't mention that I really like on this bait is the recessed line tie in here where you can see, and that along with this titanium, what do you call it, the arm that holds the spinner on here. I think this is going to be super weedless out here, and you've got another version of this that we were looking at, and just so you guys can tell how this line is going to come off this head compared to this head. What's going to, you know, this head by you know, I'd be throwing this all day at Berryessa, at you know, at Clearwater Lake. But man, when it comes to the Delta, I really like this style, and I like that you guys put in titanium. I know it's hard for you guys to tell what's going on here, but this is a stout deal. Most of the time what I found is these things break off, and I'm looking at these, I don't think they're going to break off.
And it's funny you said Berryessa, because this one, I was fishing Berryessa a lot, and that's where I designed it. So I designed this one for Berryessa. I was throwing a lot of, I like 2.8 Kitex, 3.3s, the small ones at Berryessa on spinning gear. And even at Clear Lake, you know, underspins, throw those a lot. But the problem with the underspin is that you got the blade down here, and what I do, I like it to go to the bottom, and I'm reeling that thing along bottom, just bumping bottom. So the whole time for years I was throwing underspin thinking, you know, why is it down here? You're bumping bottom, it's not even spinning. You're not getting any vibration or flash. So I was like, well, how do I get the blade on top but still have it be finesse?
Now, this is basically your swim jig, and what are you calling this guy here?
And this one's just going to be called the Top Spin.
Top Spin.
And they're both right now. They're on Tackle Warehouse. You can pre-order them. We're hoping to get them in January.
And we'll go over how you can get these things, you know, before we end the video, and I'll put that information up in the remarks because it's a new bait, and I don't know how. I haven't seen them, and usually I see everything on the market, so we want to make sure that we know when they're out and where they can get them. Let's take a look at that one other bait, and I really thought that was a neat idea and neat design.
Yeah, so this bait right here, you can see the lip on it is different. So it's called the jaw dropper, and what I designed it for really was for, I was telling Steve, just open water fishing again. It was a Berryessa bait. I was throwing a little Fluke Junior or a armor shad on the back of it, and instead of, sometimes those fish didn't react to the spoon, they were getting finicky, and instead of throwing that, you throw that little soft plastic on here, and I drop on those suspended fish, and when you pop it on slack line, this thing wants to dance left and right, back and forth, so it doesn't just come up like a ball head or like a net head. You know, if you were to pop it, it's just gonna go like this. This thing wants to go back and forth because the lip catches water. And
I was really impressed with how much variation that thing has moving around. And you know, you're talking about fishing it that way, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put a robo worm on it, and when I'm doing shaky head or something, when I want to pull that up, if you can just get this thing up 6 inches, it doesn't bounce like this. It darts and lands here, and then it darts and lands here, and darts and lands here. It's really erratic. I think, you know, it doesn't look like much. When you first showed me, I said, you know, that's yeah, maybe not. You showed me what it does in the water. I'm thinking that is totally different than anything I'm used to seeing down there, and it gives the worm a different whip. Rather than just up and down, it's a side motion and a whip in that worm, and I think these things are going to be really cool. And what are you calling that one again?
This one's called a jaw dropper.
Okay.
Because it, don't ask how we came up with the names, but
well, just a couple of the baits that Nick's starting with, and I know he's got some, he was showing me some prototypes of some other things that I don't even want to talk about because I don't want to let the bird out of the cage here, but you know, there'll be stuff coming down the line. And the name of the bait company again
is First Gen Fishing.
And if you wanted to get one of these, what can they get right now and where can they get it?
So right now, all these things that we just showed you are all on pre-order. Everything should be there. We're hoping, like I said, in the beginning of January. We do have
That's Tackle Warehouse.
On Tackle Warehouse, and the only thing we do have available right now are we have O-rings and O-ring tools, which is just O-rings and O-ring tools. But I didn't tell you, I didn't tell you about it because they're O-rings and O-ring tools. The one thing about them is that we have 4 sizes. So we have for finesse worms all the way up to like a 7-inch Senko, so your big worms. So sometimes they're hard to find, but the other thing about them is, and you'll see on Tackle Warehouse and when you see them in stores, is we design them to be fisherman friendly because, you know, most of them are in millimeter sizes, and I don't know which O-ring I need for my 6-inch Senko compared to a robo worm for Nico rig. I just don't know, because, you know, when you walk up it says 4.6 millimeter. I don't know what that is, you know, and I end up buying a bunch of them. So we tested all the different sizes and we picked the 4 that fit a finesse worm, your 4 to 5-inch Senko, 6-inch Senko, and then magnum worms like 7-inch Senko and bigger. And it's right on the package, so it tells you, you know, what worm it goes with. So we hadn't seen anything like that out there, so just making it easy for the fishermen.
Okay, so you guys know a little bit about Nick now. You know his YouTube channel, the Bass Hookup. You know he's got some baits out here. I can say I'm going to get my hands on some, and I'll probably do a few reviews on them when I can get them. And I'll, you know, if you guys are on the fence, you'll see what they can do, and I think they're going to catch some fish. So anyhow, Nick, thanks for coming out here with me. It's a pleasure fishing with you this morning. We're out here eating our lunch right now. It may look like it's a nice day, but it's been blowing like heck, and fishing's been tough, but the tide's going to turn, so I think we cut this thing out and go out and see if we can pick up an afternoon bite.
Yeah, sounds good to me. And
hey, thanks
for bringing me out.
Nick Kanemoto, the Bass Hookup.